Welcome to From Carpool to College, a show for parents who are trying to get ahead or just keep their sanity while navigating the college planning landscape. Hey, thanks for joining us. Today we're going to talk about the college essay. And I am not going to do much talking, Tara. I know, she's making a face.
It's okay.
Well, Tara, you're the expert.
You got it.
So Tara's going to shed some light so parents need not be scared. So what do our parents, and our parents are all over the place, not like
They are.
They're different age groups. The kids are different grade levels. So we know we have parents who are ambitious and their kids are still in middle school. No judgment.
Nope.
No judgment. Getting ahead of the game. We love it. We have parents whose kids are in high school, 9th, 10th, 11th grade. So Tara's going to tell us a lot about the essay, and hopefully you guys will just get the big picture of what's up. So, Tara, what do our parents need to know about the essay? Bum-ba-dum.
Well, first of all, when you have a child that is getting ready to either go through the application process or you feel that they're, starting to think about it a little bit, the college essay sometimes gets pushed, right? So other things take its place.
Like push, like procrastinating?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like put off. Like, Mom, I'll do it later.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It happens. And, college tour, whatever. There's other things that take its place because I think that they're easier to get started with.
Yeah.
Conversations with your guidance counselor, whatever it may be. So before we even jump into anything, my first piece of advice is start talking about it early.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be even something like, what do you want to write about? What do you think your essay should be about? Just start bringing up those bigger picture items. Things like, what's your favorite memory? What is something that how do you think you've changed or grown? Just general things, not saying that that's what you're going to write about. That may not be your topic, of course, but it is going to create conversations.
Right.
And that you need to start somewhere, right? But the essay itself shouldn't be a scary thing. It's something that is...
Says the English teacher.
Right. But it shouldn't be. It's an opportunity. That's what it is. That's right. To me, it is such an opportunity because even during my early days, I was never the best test taker. And I always loved the projects or things where I could write to explain what I was trying to say versus standardized test, multiple choice, things like of that nature. So I always look at the essay as a way that you can really kind of shed some light on who you are as a student, as a person. And it's really a place that the college application and everything else, it's the only place where you can really do that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not taken from transcripts, right? So
right.
You don't want to write about things that you can find in a transcript.
Exactly.
Because they're already there. So you want to explore something new and different, and that's really going to show something unique.
So a lot of people in our business call the essay the soul. It breathes the soul into the application.
Yep.
And I think that's a really good metaphor. It's a good visual. And as you said, we're not writing about things that are blatantly all over our application. We want to give the college admissions counselors a little slice of who we are and our authenticity.
Right.
So in thinking about all of the essays that you've helped students write, is there anyone, this is like choosing between children.
Or your favorite song. You can't,
or
it's
your favorite
hard,
song. Yeah, it
right?
depends on your mood.
Exactly.
So I'm putting you on the spot.
That's okay.
Give me an example of just like one of the top essays that stick out. And don't read it, but just...
No.
I mean, we could pull it up, but whatever. Just give the listeners a little glimpse of exactly what a typical college essay is about. I think examples are going to be good for parents.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is there are different types of essays, right? And this one in particular that comes to mind the minute you asked me to pick one is about shoes.
Shoes, of course it is. This is coming from Tara, who originally applied to what school right out of high school?
FIT.
FIT, right. Go on, Tara.
So when we had the student come to us, she wanted to write about shoes. And I was so excited. I couldn't wait to hear it, but I was really kind of nervous because I didn't know where we were going to go with that. And I thought, we have a lot of work cut out for us. I'm not sure how I'm going to break her heart because you can't just write about your favorite shoes. You can't do it.
No.
But it was much more than that. And
well, wait a minute. You can write about your favorite shoes if you're like uber metaphorical.
Well, exactly.
But for a 16-year-old, it's
tough.
It's tough.
It is tough. But she did it. She did it. And she wrote about, so just to backtrack a little bit, when I meet someone, a student that I'm working with for the first time, sometimes Tracy will give me a little bit of background, a little bit of history, and sometimes I go in kind of fresh to the meeting. And this particular student, I didn't know too much about her because I think we were kind of meeting her at the same time, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And so when she said this, I right away, because I'm very nosy, being mom, teacher, and working as a college essay.
Oh, you're
person.
Like the doula of college essays. You help these kids birth their essays.
So tons of questions, going back and forth. And then when she explained her idea and she gave us her draft of how she wanted to write her essay, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
So what'd she do with it?
So,
I remember this kid. I remember the Zoom that we had with the mom and the daughter. Yeah.
So she wanted to write about shoes because she had over 100 pairs of shoes.
Oh, poor baby.
And she was a little bit on the petite side, right? So she had lots of high heels and different things, and they were all for certain events, which then gave us, when she wrote about them, like a slice into the different experiences that she had. So the shoes represented who she was. And then on top of that, the shoes also represented a situation that was going on with her mom at the time, who was suffering from a terrible illness, who couldn't walk.
Oh.
And she incorporated that in her essay. And it was
that's right.
So good that she wrote about that, because that really kind of put a totally different spin on it. Or I don't even want to say spin, because that sounds, a little insensitive. That's not really the right term.
No, I know what you mean. But it was a different, in all things, we want our
perspective,
students, right? We want our students and our clients to be authentic, right? So, and when they get real, like when they pull that curtain back and it's like, this is my real life. This is not BS. Like this is what I live with every day.
Yeah.
And it's very sacred and it's very vulnerable. It's very special. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was great. And she wrote about how shoes, not only do they represent part of who she is, but they also represented the ways in which she was able to help her mother, because her mother was unable to walk.
Oh, God.
And so the shoes were a metaphor for helping her.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. It was great. And it was great. And it tied in so well. And it just really showed this student represented her.
Yeah.
Completely.
Sounds awesome.
Yep. So what do you have, Tracy?
Oh, God. I've probably helped students write, I'm talking thousands. I've been doing this for a long time, Tara.
I know.
It's so strange because I don't feel or look as old as I am. But I've been doing this for a long time. I've had thousands of students. Tara. So it's a lot of essays. I could think of some that are amazing. My favorite one is this kid, Peter. And he was a big Mama Luke. He was a football player at a high school that I was the school counselor. I also did like the NCAA eligibility. So like I worked a lot with the kids who were getting recruited. So this kid was getting recruited for Franklin and Marshall, small liberal arts college, D3. Mm-hmm. He wasn't, he was a C student and best kid, this kid. He wrote, and I always get choked up thinking about it. He wrote, so the college essay, there's different prompts. So parents, like back in our day, when many of us parents, our only experience with the college essay is our own experience. And the 90s were a long time ago. The world was a lot different then. And so were college applications. So today, the college essay is written on like a Word doc or a Google doc, and the kids cut and paste it and they throw it into a text box on like the last page of their Common App. And there's like 7 different prompts that they can answer to. And one of them is write about whatever you want, right? So typically like, the prompts, I don't know why they don't just say write about whatever you want for everything, but they do give a little,
like guidance,
like guidance, nudges, and they are helpful. So the prompt, the question he was answering was, describe a time where you feel like your childhood ended and your adulthood started. And he wrote about how he lived. So where he lived in Essex County in Jersey, he lived along the floodplain of the Passaic River, and we had one of these superstorms. I don't know if it wasn't Sandy. It was like after Sandy, hurricane. For those of you who are not Jersey, well, everyone knows Hurricane Sandy, right? Doesn't everyone know Hurricane Sandy?
Yeah.
I hope so. It was a disaster. It was a freaking disaster. Anyway, so there are a lot of places in our whole country, living on a floodplain of a river, but in the high school district I was working at, a lot of kids were affected by the, it was Hurricane Sandy. It was, by heavy rainfalls, whatever. So he wrote about a time that it was Hurricane Sandy and his basement, which was his man cave. He had his Xbox down there. He had his weightlifting bench on one side of the basement. The other side, the parents subdivided to make a space for his grandmother who was in hospice. Oh, right? So grandma is down there on one side of the basement and all her stuff. They evacuate her. He goes downstairs to try to like water is now spilling, weeping through the walls. And he goes downstairs. This is his essay. He starts it off with, I opened the basement door and saw a foot of water quickly climbing and all of my video games and all my stuff from my man cave floating in the floodwater from the Passaic River. And then I'm going to get choked up. I do it all the time. See, this is so bad. He talks about how he looked at his grandmother's stuff and he decided to take his grandmother's stuff. Look, this is ridiculous. I'm crying.
It's okay.
This is stupid.
It's okay.
But this is such a good essay. So he picks up the stuff that all belonged to his grandmother and he let all his man cave stuff just stay.
And float away.
How awesome is that?
Gosh.
And let me tell you, it wasn't like a highbrow essay. It was very simple grammar. If you ran it through the program,
right.
So Tara and I, we're teachers, so we could run, you could do this on Microsoft, on Word. You can find out the grade level. You can just scan it and hit tools and do grade level. The grade level that he wrote was probably 10th grade level. It wasn't rocket science.
Right.
It was so beautifully done though. But what a great story.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's
a big one.
Yeah, that is a big one. It is a big one, but not everyone. So okay, wonderful story. You're crying over here. I love it.
It's so bad.
And not to sound insensitive or to bring you back to reality.
Bring me back.
But not everyone has those experiences.
I know.
So that's where sometimes we run into a little bit of some tension, right? Because the students sometimes feel like they have to experience that.
Right.
And it doesn't always happen.
Some kind of trauma or loss.
Listen, I know what you're thinking. And you just step away from the topic of COVID. We can't go there.
Oh, no. There's actually a whole separate section for that.
We can't go there.
No.
We can't go there. So, yes, you've been through it and you were worried if you had toilet paper. But we can't go through that anymore because everybody wrote about that right after. And it's just... nobody wants to read about that now.
Everyone wrote about it so much that the Common App created a new section that says, if you were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic in a way that was profound and, life-changing, please write about it here. And that's for the extreme cases, you lost a parent or you were homeless or I don't know. But we were all freaked out and our lives turned upside down.
Yeah.
So that's for sure. Not all the essays that I'm going to share with you, the topics are as wonderful as Pete's. Okay. So I had one just 2 years ago, and it was when the kid said it, I'm like, what are you going to write about? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I think maybe like baking cookies with my brother. I'm like, okay. So, okay, maybe we're going to be metaphorical. So he shares the doc with me. And basically it's about burnt cookies and piggyback rides. I think that's the name of that's like a title he gave it. And they don't have to have a title, but that's what he titled it. I'm just like, oh boy. Well, it was very raw at first, but we worked with it. And basically he talked about giving his I'm not going to cry again.
No, you are.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Wait, there's a trick. If you like blow out, my friend taught me this, who was a guidance counselor, who like when we're in like really dicey counseling sessions and we don't want to cry, we like blow out. Hang on. Okay. So his little brother, who's developmentally delayed, he would give him piggyback rides. And he ended up using his essay to talk about how like the burnt cookies that they made one day and they were playing together. He lost track of time, but how that was a metaphor that like, hey, life's not perfect. It's about the experiences and you're going to, oh no, you're going to burn cookies, but it doesn't matter.
Some cookies.
Right. So he ended up getting into Princeton.
Amazing.
He didn't go though.
No way.
No, he didn't go. I know. He didn't. He ended up going to Rutgers Pharmacy School, and they gave him a full ride, like the 5-year program. So yeah, right.
That's interesting.
A couple more really fast. I had a kid just this year wrote about how he plays the piano and he hates it. His parents always made him play it for years, and his parents made him go to a senior citizen center and play the piano, and he went begrudgingly. And then he says while he was playing, he was like angry. He was like all pissed off, and he talks about his bad attitude.
Yeah.
He goes into it. He's like, oh, I'm so angry at my parents. I resent having to do this. And blah, blah, blah. So he then talks about, he goes into going in there and just playing and there's no one there. Then all of a sudden they start coming in and these little old geriatrics from the senior citizen center. It was like a nursing home. And, they're all coming in and he's watching their faces and he's seeing how music connects people. Oh,
it's good. That's really good.
I know. He ends up, here's another one. He got accepted to the University of Chicago, but he ended up, where is he going? I think he's going to Stevens Institute. Oh my gosh. Did you share this client with me? I don't think you did. I had a little wise ass student. He was awesome. He's one of my, my son's friends. And he wrote his essay about parking in the teacher's lot illegally.
Oh, funny.
Mm-hmm.
But see, like a simple thing.
Yep.
That's what I mean.
Right. And he ended up getting detention, his first detention in his life. But he made it about risk taking. When we think about our kids and the stupid things they do and the bad decisions they make, like when my son Joey decided to steal a shopping cart and all the police surrounded him and he almost got arrested. Those are essays.
Yeah, they're
those teachable moments.
Yeah, they really are. Those are the essays.
Absolutely. And
even over the simplest thing, but it just shows something about the kid.
Right, exactly.
About the student.
You want to just show that authenticity and I learned something or I'm good at something and
growth.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, those are my faves. I mean, I had a kid this year who wrote about I wrote down his title. His title for his essay was Being Smart and Spectrum-y.
Oh.
And he's on the spectrum and he is very high functioning and loves talking about his neurodivergence.
Oh,
and
I love it.
It's tough because we don't want the kids, their identity formation is really amplified during these years. And it's easy to talk about our dyslexia. It's easy to talk about our central auditory processing disorder. It's easy to talk about our neurodivergence, our Tourette's, our ADHD. But he spoke about it. And we don't want to just be that. Like, you have ADHD. You are not ADHD. So we have to be careful when we write about these things, as you know, that we're not just saying like, I am X or Y. This is not how I'm defined. So he wrote about it, and it wasn't really that good, frankly. It wasn't the best. It wasn't Very interesting.
Right.
And he's going to GW.
Oh, wow.
Bless his heart.
Amazing.
Yeah, got into Villanova, Stevens, Rutgers, and GW. Where else did he? I can't remember. But yeah, he's going to GW. So
That's great.
again, they don't have to be they're not the next Pulitzer Prize.
That's it. Right. That's
Right.
it.
It's a story.
It's meant to show something. I guess that's what we always try to talk about is the why, right? Why and what's the purpose, right, of this? Obviously, for the most part, it's a requirement. There are some schools that are actually essay optional.
Yeah.
There are.
Yeah.
But it's an opportunity, right? And I think that the why is it's a way for them to showcase who they are, right? And be able to explain that you can't really do through SAT scores.
Right, because we're so much more. Now, I'm seeing a lot of students, and my professor friends talk about this too, and college admissions reps talk about it in a lot of workshops about the use of AI.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what do you want parents to know about the use of AI when it comes to the college essay or just, writing on college applications in general too? Because there's more than the writing on a college application. In many cases, there are supplemental essays that sneak up on you, and you have to demonstrate interest. Like, why us? Why do you want to go to Franklin and Marshall? Tell us why you want to go to Muhlenberg. Why this? So, why do you want to study how to train animals? Whatever. Mm-hmm. So, what's up with the AI?
So much, but I think 3 key things to remember. Number one, that it's expected that you may use AI when you're going into those like final stages of revision in more of a way to catch mechanics, right? Grammar issues, spelling issues, maybe a little bit of the organization.
What's that app? Is it Grammarly?
Grammarly?
Yeah. Grammarly is a form of AI.
Yeah, it is.
So Grammarly can actually interface with the Common App, and you'll see it in the little text boxes in the bottom right corner. It'll be like green or like Grammarly picked up such and such. So that's totally prevalent. Okay.
Yeah. So definitely for mechanics, the next point about AI is to just say like it's important that you as a parent and also the student do research for whatever schools that they're thinking of applying to, because some schools do have very specific AI policies and it gives exactly what you can and can't use it for. So you kind of don't want to blow your chance to get into a school because you decided that you wanted to, have AI give you the draft of an essay, right?
Yeah.
You just don't want to do it.
We're going to have some professor friends of mine in, and I want to talk to them about that too, because they're seeing a huge challenge. I almost said problem. It is a problem with the overuse of AI. And professors and teachers, we do have the software to scan, and it can tell us exactly what AI, what it is, where it is, and they could even find it on the web. Not necessarily like plagiarism they can, but the AI, they'll give you a percentage, I think, right?
Yeah. But I don't think that it's something that you need to lock up about and say, no, absolutely not. I think for those revisions, certainly the student should revise it, but it doesn't help to run it through a program that can help as well.
Oh, totally. And
because if you're looking at it over and over and over and over again, there might be something that you miss.
Oh yeah, I attended a workshop with either Georgia Tech or University of Georgia, and the title was using AI in the college application process, and they talked about the essay, and they said the same, exactly what you're saying. Like, we anticipate our students we know students using AI, and we know that they're going to run an essay in some way, shape, or form through it. However, they can tell when it's AI, and they expect students to modify that skeletal framework to make sure it reflects them authentically. So, yeah, they know.
Yeah, they do.
Well, because they use AI.
Yeah.
Right? The colleges are using AI to scan your application. Yeah. So there's that.
That's true. Yeah, for sure. So I think that just to give parents some takeaways. So I'm a parent of a junior. I know your kids already are through and they're accepted into those wonderful schools. But being a parent of someone who is in the process of everything, I always like to have, well, what can I do?
Right. Because we talked about revision It's used for policies, check
Right.
the policies, and also to make sure that you're authentic.
Oh, yeah. Authentic, right.
So
as far as parents go, what they can do to kind of help out, right?
Yeah.
And say, we did that one episode on hands-on, hands-off. So you have to walk that fine line of how much support you want to give. But I think starting off with having a conversation is great, and just make it about on your car ride to wherever you're headed, right? And just start to
in
talk
the
about
carpool.
the carpool. That's right. And, sometimes something can come up and you might hint, oh, this might be your college essay. This could be something great that you could write about, or maybe that's too much for your child. So you have to kind of know, but definitely think, bring up some memories, think about, just having those conversations is important. You can certainly work with them on brainstorming ideas and also drafts and get really kind of helpful in that way, but it doesn't have to go that far either. And they do have that junior assignment right at the end of their junior year where they are required to usually
the
write
memoir assignment.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And sometimes that is completely not really workable as a college essay. And sometimes it's something. Yeah,
exactly.
Sometimes it's something.
Exactly.
Tell them also, create a file of leftovers. I always call them the leftovers because it might not be a full college essay, but it might get them thinking about something that turns into their essay. And if not, maybe it'll be a supplemental. And if not, maybe it's some other assignment. But don't throw out your writing. Don't get rid of it. Keep it in a leftover pile because you never know, leftover file of when it can be used.
Oh, right. Because the kids all have the Google Drives from 9th, 10th, 11th grade.
Yeah.
Right? They can go back and look at their grade stuff. That is a great idea. And it's hard to... I'm just thinking about my own experience with Joey and Alex, and it just depends on their mood too.
Yes.
Because if they're in a stinky mood, like forget it. I don't even want to talk to them. I don't even want to look at them.
Right.
But our kids don't listen to us.
Right.
And that's why Tara and I, and we have our small practice, we end up telling our clients the same things that parents are telling them, but they listen to us because we're an outside third party.
Yeah.
So Tara, you work with a lot of kids on the essay process. What is your process? If you could just pull back the curtain a little bit. Don't give away your secret sauce because you are the essay whisperer. However, what do you do with the kids?
Well, again, back to the fact that I'm very nosy, right? So when I originally meet the student, I lots of questions. We can't even open a document or start anything until I know a little bit more about them, right? And then we go from there. So it depends. Then they can show me if they have certain drafts or whatever. But sometimes they come with nothing. And sometimes those are the best essays. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes they come with something and, we can work to really shape it into a great essay. But it's all about having them dig deeper because I think that a lot of stuff that they're looking at looks just like everyday things and everyday situations, but they're actually, some of those things are gems, right? And they're hidden in there.
Oh,
and it's just having someone to kind of point them out and say, well, do you think that this might show something about who you are, what you're about, what your passions are, your interests, and then go from there. And I would say the other thing that comes up a lot is, oh, I heard you can't write about this or write about that. I don't know that I agree with that fully. I think that you can write about anything you want to write about as long as you have a really, really good way to say it.
Right.
Yeah. So, but then, we go through back and forth, and sometimes students need a little bit more hand holding than others. And sometimes they know what they need to do and they're on it. And we, before you know it, have a final product.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Well, thank you, Tara, for being our resident expert essay whisperer, essay doula.
It's my favorite thing.
I can't wait till we go to video because Tara's smiling so big right now. It is her thing. And it's funny when she works with clients, she'll text me, oh my gosh, I just had the best aha moment with a kid. It was the best. Yeah. Can I call you? And then she'll call me and she's like, oh my gosh. And it goes through the whole process. And it is great. It is the witnessing the self-discovery. It is really a special thing. And parents, sometimes your kids just won't let you in. Yeah. And that's completely developmentally appropriate. It has nothing to do with you. they are pushing away. And unfortunately, the timing sucks because this is when they do need us as parents. And sometimes it does help to make sure they're doing their essay at school for their junior year English class project, or getting an outside consultant just to kind of just jostle them a little bit into thinking about how they're going to express themselves. So thank you, Tara, so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. And thanks for tuning in to From Carpool to College. I'm Tracy Amadeo.
Tara Horitz.
And we'll see you next time. Well, we won't see you. We'll hear you.
You'll
hear us.
Yeah.
That's it. Thanks, Chris. Oh, yeah, Chris, go back at 1850 and take out... I think it's like 1848.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, we'd love for you to be a part of our growing community. Please share and follow our show. For those who want to support us further, join our Patreon site. Your support helps us create high-quality content and great episodes. Plus, our Patreon members get exclusive perks like bonus episodes, early access, and behind-the-scenes content that we think you're just going to love.
And now for some legal stuff. The content of this podcast is for informational and educational entertainment purposes only, and is provided as is with no guarantee of accuracy, completeness, timeliness, or outcomes. I could keep going, but I will spare you, and I will post this entire legal disclaimer on our website, www.academicmentoringllc.com, under podcast. Tara and I are so glad you joined us today on From Carpool to College. See you next time. Something like that.
Yeah.
Done?
That's good.
Okay, Chris, make that pretty, please. Pretty, please. Make it pretty, please.